Hi guys, how are you? We have here a book called Carlos and Carmen, and it's called The Sparkly Night, and it is about the 4th of July. Now, what I like about this book is that it's going to teach us Spanish. It has Spanish words in it, so we're going to learn. It's English and Spanish. I forgot to thank the author. Big thank you to Kirsten McDonald and to the illustrator Erica Meza. So big thank you to Kristen and Erica. And I don't speak Spanish, but I love learning any words I can in Spanish. So this book was a good one for me. I liked it a lot when I saw it at the library. So look, in the back of the book, it tells us all the Spanish words that are in this story. So we're going to go to the back first, and we're going to look at all the words. It says Spanish to English. So we have bandera, flag, estrellas, stars. Again, excuse me, Spanish is not, I don't speak it, but I'm going to try. Mama, mommy. Marcas, marks. Mira, that means look. Papa is daddy. I think it's ruido, noise. Sandia, watermelon. Viento is wind. Yo también is me too, and yo tampoco is me neither. All right, so that was a good little little guide for us. And are you guys ready? Are you wondering who our mystery surprise guest is? You guys probably, I don't think you're gonna guess this one. You want a clue? I'll give you a clue. It is pink and green, or red and green, and you eat it on the 4th of July. It has black seeds. It's very sweet. It's very juicy. Can be messy. Did you guys guess who our guest is? Guess who our guest is. All right, you ready to see who it is? She's sitting on an American flag bucket. She has a flag. It is a giant watermelon. Oh my goodness. And if you might recognize her, she's a Shopkin. Her name's Melanie Pips. She's a big watermelon. Are you ready to read and see why I picked a watermelon to be our mystery guest? Let's get started. Okay. This is Chapter 1, Fun with Flags. Carlos and Carmen ran through their front yard. Their arms were full of 4th of July flags. Their eyes were full of 4th of July excitement. And their heads were full of 4th of July plans. I love the 4th of July, said Carmen. She stood up a flag beside the walkway. See her? Watermelon is my favorite part, said Carlos. He stood up a flag on the other side of the walkway. Yo también, said Carmen. Do we remember what yo también means? Let's look. Yo también means me too. So Carmen is saying, yo también, me too. I love the crunchy pink part of the sandia. Sandia, watermelon. See, it's teaching us all kinds of new words. So this giant watermelon, sandia. Okay. I love the sweet part in the middle, said Carlos. The twins were busy talking about watermelons. They were busy decorating with flags. They did not notice Spooky running. Oh, who's Spooky? They did not notice Spooky batting, and they did not notice Spooky pouncing. When the twins turned around, the flags were scattered everywhere. What happened to the banderas? Asked Carlos. Remember, those are the flags. It looks like a big viento blew it through here, said Carmen. Do we remember what viento means? Let's read the sentence, because it kind of tells us. It looks like a big viento blew through here. So viento is a big wind. So it looks like a big wind blew through here. Carlos picked up one of the flags. There are tiny tooth marks on this bandera, he said. Carmen picked up a different flag, and there are tiny claw marks on this bandera. So there's teeth marks and claw marks. So what do you think got their flags? Carmen looked at Carlos. Uh-oh. Carmen looked at Carlos. Carlos looked at Carmen. "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?" they asked. And because they were twins, they were. "Let's go get that whiskered wind," said Carmen. "And let's put that furry viento inside." They're calling her the furry wind. "Then we can really decorate for the 4th of July, said Carmen. So their kitty cat got the flags. Chapter 2, a noisy problem. Let's see what this noisy problem is. That afternoon, the Garcias sat in their front yard watching the parade. Mama and Papa clapped for the marching bands. The twins waved their flags. They laughed at the dogs in costumes. Everybody caught the candy that Uncle Sam tossed out. "I can't wait for the games and races at the park," said Carlos. "Yo también," said Carmen. "That means me too. And the fireworks tonight." Carlos stopped waving his flag. He did not look excited anymore. Uh-oh. What happened? Carlos looked at Carmen. "I forgot about the fireworks," he said sadly. Carmen looked at Carlos. "And I forgot that you do not like fireworks," said Carmen. Oh no. Sometimes fireworks can be very loud. "I like the bright sparkles," said Carlos. "They look like tiny falling estrellas, but I do not like the loud ruido." So they look like tiny falling estrellas, stars, but he does not like the ruido, the noise. Mama put her arm around Carlos. "Yo tampoco, Carlitos. The noise hurts my ears." So do we remember what yo tampoco means? She says, "Me neither." So she's saying, "Me neither, Carlos." And when she calls him Carlitos, it's like a cute way, like my little Carlos. "The noise hurts my ears. Luckily, we've got hours and hours until the fireworks," said Papa. "Let's go to the park for more 4th of July fun," said Mama. "And while we're there, we'll figure out this noisy problem," said Carmen. She's a good sister. Chapter 3, a juicy solution. At the park, the Garcias tossed beanbags into boxes. They ran in 3-legged races, and they hopped in potato sacks. Aww, they are having fun. "Who's ready for sandia?" Papa asked. Remember, sandia is watermelon. "Me," shouted Carlos. "Yo también," shouted Carmen. The Garcias all chose juicy slices of watermelon, and they all took great big bites. "Mira," shouted Carlos. Do you remember what mira means? "Mira, mira, look, look," shouted Carlos. He spit a watermelon seed. Papa bounced his eyebrows. "Mira," he shouted, and spit a seed even farther. "Watch this," said Mama. Her seed flew over Carlos's seed. It flew over Papa's seed. "Wow," said Carlos and Carmen. The Garcias ate lots of watermelon, and they spit lots of seeds. They laughed and played until the sun started to set. Aww. "It's almost time for fireworks," said Carmen. "I wish they weren't so loud," said Carlos. "And I wish you could be outside with me and Papa," said Carmen. "We could run around under the sparkles. We could pretend they were falling estrellas or snowflakes. But we wouldn't have to wear our big winter coats," said Carlos. "And no mittens and earmuffs either," said Carmen. Then Carlos looked at Carmen, and Carmen looked at Carlos. They had watermelon drips on their chins. They had smiles on their faces. And they had a solution to their noisy problem. Chapter 4, Smiles and Sparkles. As soon as they got home, the twins ran into their rooms. Carmen looked for her blue earmuffs. Carlos looked for his red earmuffs. Oh, they're so smart. Then they ran to meet their parents in the backyard. Mama and Papa had spread out a large blanket on the grass. They lay on their backs looking at the stars. Carlos and Carmen pounced onto their blanket beside them. Carmen handed her blue earmuffs to her mother. "My ears aren't cold," said Mama, trying to hand them back. "They're not for the cold," said Carlos. "They're for the ruido, the noise," finished Carmen. "We solved the noisy problem," said Carlos and Carmen. You and I can wear earmuffs, Mama, said Carlos. He twirled his earmuffs around and tossed them into the air. Now you'll hear only a tiny bit of the noise, said Carmen. Mama put on Carmen's earmuffs. She said, say something. Together, Carlos and Carmen said, something. She said, say something. They said something. Mama could barely hear them. I think this might just work, Mama said with relief. All the Garcias stretched out on the blanket. 2 of them wore earmuffs and all of them wore smiles. They held hands and they stared up at the sky. And then at last 2 of them heard some loud cracks and the other 2 just heard some soft pops. Then everyone laughed as colored sparkles filled the night sky. The end. That was a great book. Thanks for learning Spanish with me today. And thank you to Big Watermelon Sandia for reading with us. Come back and read soon, okay, guys? We have more 4th of July books. All right? Thank you. Bye-bye. And happy 4th of July.